Guys, welcome to Traders Lounge. Welcome to Traders Lounge, your one-stop shop for all your trading solutions, and especially when it comes to market analysis. We are the best of the best because we dive in from a top-down analysis. So if let's start with the basic house rules. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, guys, kindly take some time and subscribe so that every time you produce a video like this, YouTube will be in a position to notify you on the new release. That is number one. Number two, if you take this video analysis and you feel you have a question, please drop us a comment on the comment section. I would like to really engage you on a one-to-one to really understand where you are not understanding, or if you can be able to build a conversation that can be mutually beneficial. Right, and then number three, which is extremely important, is we are approaching the end of the year. And remember, as we get into December, liquidity in the market is very minimum. So trade with care, trade carefully, and otherwise I wish you good luck, good at trading. So let's begin our weekly market analysis for this week. And I'd like to begin with the Forex pairs, the major currencies. And we can only begin that by studying the US index to see exactly what is the market position of the dollar index, because that can give us a direction across the market in different asset classes. So as you can see from this chart, this is a weekly chart, and if I can go to the monthly chart for the same, forget about it. From the weekly chart, we are on a descending channel, but this descending channel is we are in a very critical point, because as you can see, guys, let me just do this probably for you to be able to see well. We are on a very critical area in accordance to this channel. So for now and for this week, we have to really be careful, guys. The bias for the market is not a sell because of this channel. The bias in the market is a buy, but we are looking at this yellow box as the immediate target area. Anything above 3400, that is an opportunity to closely look at this pair to see what happens, because my bias is the moment we get there, we will have raided the weekly previous high, which basically forms the weekly order block, and out of that then we can see price coming down on a sell all the way up to 26,417. Now onto the euro dollar. On the euro dollar, guys, yesterday we did an analysis on the euro index, and if you have not watched that analysis, kindly check the previous video for yesterday where I discussed about the British pound index and the euro index. Now for purposes of this analysis, there's something that I really want you to see. As you can see from the chart, this is a weekly chart for euro dollar, and our target was at least for price to retrace all the way to the yellow box that shows our weekly order block. And as you can see today, let me just go to the daily chart just a second. As you can see today, we have rested exactly on that yellow box. Now this presents to us a critical opportunity, especially for those traders who would like to swing, because technically from where we are, let me show you something. From where we are, this particular trend, we expect it to come all the way down up to the 93,088 area. So this is a perfect swing, especially for the rest of the remaining part of the year. So if you're a swing trader, kindly, that is a trade that you should be able to target. However, for the first leg, if you are not very sure that you can hold the trade up to there, then target anything below 0.95700 area as your exit point. However, for me, this is a trade I'm holding all the way, as you can see in this chart, up to the 9300 area. So guys, that's one of the perfect swings to take for the week. Now that we've discussed the euro dollar, let's see what other currency pairs we have in the FX space that we can be able to explore, beginning with the British pound dollar. The British pound dollar, guys, as you can see from this chart, if I can zoom it out, it's exactly doing what the euro dollar is doing. Our entry point for the sell is within this blue box around the 0.16 up to 0.17 area. And as you can see, the candle for this week sharply rose up to the previous high of last week's opening, which represents the weekly order block. And this is a trade that I'm holding to retest this area below here, the previous low of the weekly candles, which is represented by 1.0418 area. That's a perfect trade to take. I will be tracking this trade on a weekly basis, but if you're not really sure, you can exit your profit at the 1.00 area if you cannot be able to hold it all the way down. This is a perfect setup, and it's an opportunity for you to buy, to take a trade on a sell and hold it for the rest of the year. So that is the British pound, and we have discussed about the euro dollar. Now let's jump into the next critical setup for me is the dollar card. The dollar card presents a very unique opportunity whereby we have been on an ascending channel. As you can see, this was an ascending channel of which we broke it at the 1.3 to between the 1.32 and 34 area. We broke this channel to the upside, and guess what happened? Price steadily rose all the way up to this area of 1.39800 zone. Immediately after that, we have had a pullback, and the pullback basically was specifically to be able to fill this liquidity void, because there's a very big liquidity gap between the 1.32 area and 1.39 area. Now that we are there, this presents a perfect entry opportunity for a buy, and this is a buy that is a swing, and our immediate target profit, as you can see in this chart, is at 1.4200 area. If you do not understand how to enter into these trades, especially how to identify perfect entries and perfect take profit areas, you can drop a comment in the comment section, and you can join our January class for traders. Right. On to the next. So those three are the extremely critical setups for me for this week. We have some critical fundamentals news coming up tomorrow. So tomorrow being on Thursday, we will wait and see the reaction of the market, but there's a very high probability it can give us an opportunity to take this trade on the upside, even way past the 1.4200 area, all the way up to the 1.4600 area, as you can see represented by this previous high. Until we break this high, our channel and our bias still remains very bullish. On to the next setup. On to the next setups. Let's look at the British GBP JPY. Just a second, guys. For the GBP JPY pairs, all I can see, just a minute. Sorry guys, we're having a bit of network interruption. I'd like to see the reaction. As you can see, we are resting on a critical trend line zone for the monthly candle. This represents a monthly candle. And when we come into the lower time frame, just a second. As we come into the lower time frame, weekly, open. On the weekly area, this gives us a bias for a buy, represented by that particular option. Well, for me, this is not the kind of trade that I'd be interested really to take, but if you were to jump into this trade, then this gives you a perfect opportunity to enter on a buy that can at least take you to the let me just give you the price, up to the 1.71. 171.130 area as your take profit. Anything above that is neither here and there. Guys, be very careful because we're getting into December and there's less and less liquidity as we advance into Christmas. But that is how I'd look at it. My bias is on the euro dollar, pound dollar, and the USD Canadian currency. For the rest, I'll just give you a general overview, but how we are and where this setup sits, even if it's a buy that I will be extremely careful. Otherwise, there's a potential that it could be the beginning of a downtrend. And if it becomes the beginning of a downtrend, then I expect the trend to come all the way up to, just a second. I expect it to be the beginning of this trend. As you can see, this is a descending channel. So be very careful with it. We will keep on monitoring this setup. My preference will be if it can come all the way to the 1.85 area, then it will give us a perfect entry opportunity that can take us down as a swing. And this is a long-term swing that you can hold for several months all the way up to the 80 area. Is that okay? The same case is with the euro yen. For the euro yen, still we are sitting on an extremely critical order block, which represents the monthly order block, but it has still more room to the upside to retest this 155,670 area as a buy. But my bias will be to just hold on to it and see an opportunity to sell, because the long-term bias for euro and pound is sell. Let's look at the Canadian Japanese yen. Same thing. The same thing with the New Zealand Japanese yen. So all the yen pairs, we are approaching an extremely critical zone that we have to be very careful. Otherwise, I think those are the critical setups for me for the week. As I repeat, we have the euro dollar versus Canadian yen, a perfect buy to the upside up to the 1.420 area. And then other than that, we have the dollar, we have the pound dollar, which is a perfect sell to the 1.04180 area. And before you forget, we have euro dollar, which I began with, which gives us a very perfect entry from the yellow box all the way up to the 0.93088 area. Thank you guys. I'll keep on updating you with the progress of these setups. Have a good day, good luck trading, and see you into next week's analysis. Cheers.